Okay, please appear at the balcony. Of course, it's a suggestive view to see the interior of the monument. So, Coliseum is 50 or 60 meters high. It has an elliptical plan. The longer diameter is 188 meters, the shorter 156. I told you that Coliseum consisted of 4 different levels in the past. Nowadays, only the ground floor and the first one are open to visitors. The third and the fourth one became building materials. In front of you, you see the scaffolds where the policemen during last summer went on strike against Rome Common Council. It was their refuge. In the center, you see the arena, and you see the so-called basements. Basements were a sort of underground storage of Coliseum. You see the walls, and inside the basements were lifts and elevators, bringing on the wooden floor of the arena everything for the game. For instance, the cages with the animals, gladiators, of course, and also the sheen paintings, which were the settings of the gladiator games. Gladiator games, in fact, used to be a representation of a battle of the might of the past. In a way, they were a sort of movie. To make a comparison with with nowadays. And according to archaeologists and according to Roman documents, before the building of the basements, inside the Colosseum took place the so-called naumachie. Naumachie means naval battles, and naval battles were very common shows in ancient Rome. We have to imagine that probably before the building of the basements, inside the Colosseum there was a sort of pool, a large pool, which was used for those games. Probably there was a pipe system taking water into Colosseum. But Domitiano, the last member of Flavian dynasty, decided to drain this pool to remove all the pipe system in order to create the basements, the Colosseum storage, Colosseum storage, which was more important for the games. The basements were covered by a wooden floor, which is partially restored. On your right, you see this partial restoration of the wooden floor. Please look at the drawing. This is the original shape of the monument. You see the wooden floor covering all the basements. And this is the monument nowadays. You see, time has passed, and so the monument completely changed. And the floor was covered with sand, the so-called arena in Latin. And nowadays, the word arena means the place where games take place. And the Romans used sand because it was the easiest material to prepare, to be cleaned before and after the games. There was the so-called arenarius, which means sandman, who had to prepare the sand every day for before and after the games. And you have to imagine that at the end of the day of the games, the arena was soaked with blood, with calvers, so it was just enough to mix the sand, and as by magic, it was cleaned again. That's why they used the sand. Of course, there were many people working inside the Colosseum. I told you about the arenarius. There were a large staff of workers inside of the Colosseum, inside of the basement, operating lifts and elevators and cages for the animals and for everything for the game. And there were also the sailors of Misenum fleet who had to operate the so-called velarium. Please look at the drawing again, the original shape of the Colosseum. You see on the top there was a huge cover made of canvas and wood. This was the so-called velarium, which was a protection from rain, sun and cold. And of course, nowadays it doesn't resist it because it was made of disposable materials. So canvas, wood, they ruin very easily. And I want to show you some parts of the interior. From your left, you see the entrance of gladiators inside the Colosseum, the so-called Porta Triumphalis, which means door of triumph. So you can imagine that all the gladiators were greeted and welcomed by the spectators as they came into the arena. In the center, you see the cross remembering that Coliseum is a sacred place. Probably the building of the cross replaces the imperial gallery, the personal seats of the emperor and his family. On your right, you see a partial restoration of the seats of Coliseum. They are the red and white ones, which are enclosed by that grey scaffold. According to archaeologists, it's not a good restoration, but I think it's quite useful to have an idea of the original shape of the seats inside of the monument. And on your right again, you see below, under that balcony, the exit of gladiators, the so-called Porta Lipitinaria, which means Lipitina's door. Lipitina was the Roman goddess of death, so you can imagine that most of gladiators were cadavers or were about to die as they came out of a Coliseum. Okay, now for the last part of the visit, we're going to have a panoramic view of important Roman monuments from a Coliseum. Let's wait, please.